A press conference that I am interested in was Nico Harrison last night.
Dude, I paid no mind to the draft. I put it on in the background for about 45 minutes. Wasn't paying attention at all. Happened to be up kind of late, and I think I saw Sam Gannon tweet Nico Harrison scheduled to speak in 5. I'm like, well, yeah, I guess he's a GM.
Amazing.
But I'm just so used to the idea that he's ducking everybody that I'd completely forgotten that a draft comes with a press conference.
Got an email from Carter, which is, he says pretty much how I was feeling last night. He says, I tried to give the Mavs a chance and watch the draft. Well, I didn't watch the draft. And I just can't do it. I still hate this organization until Nico's gone. Let's say they win the championship. Then we'll all have to look at that smug son of a bitch holding the trophy. Go Luka, go Lakers from Carter. I'm not to the point of like, go Lakers. I just can't do that either. That's why this thing is really painful. You can't all of a sudden just start rooting for the evil empire that you've rooted against all these years. Even when your baby is on that team. It's really a weird feeling. And the feeling I have about the Mavs, I think a lot of people do share. As far as Kyrie is concerned, and I've seen some people say, oh, he's showing his belief in the organization because they're talking about a new contract. He has a 1-year player option he could pick up, but they're talking about like a 3-year extension.
Done.
It's done?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, the $100 and whatever million extension, which, if I'm not mistaken, that extension would be pretty much the size of his 1-year option he was picking up times 3.
Yeah.
So it's not like he's taking some kind of a discount because he's a true believer in the – what Kyrie Irving is doing is the only thing Kyrie Irving can do. He could take the 1-year option, but teams are not just sitting around with $45 million of cap space.
Yeah.
Like, Kyrie Irving could not say, you know what? I don't believe in this organization. I'm not going to sign this contract. I'll go 1 year. And that would not work out well for him financially.
No, it's crazy. I mean, it's a basic financial decision that we all make. Like if I said to you, I'll give you $10 now or $6 every day for the next 3 days, like he didn't make a decision to give a discount. He made a decision to get guaranteed money, mitigate risk, and to do so traded some dollars back. But the media does this all the time. Like when a player does that, they're always like, looking out for the team. I'm like, it's either the team or that he's like 34, both of his knees don't work, and somebody's willing to pay him $120 million to play basketball for the next 3 years.
Right.
I don't think he really – I mean, I'm not saying he's not a good dude and a team player, but when an athlete does that, the only reason they wouldn't do it is if they were betting on themselves, and he's clearly not in a position to do that.
And his style of play and who he is, I'm worried about that injury and him coming back.
As insane as it is, because we flipped as far from our thoughts on Kyrie whenever he first got here, when they extended him the first time, nobody else was going to do it, and they had to do it. And we were like, well, that's weird, but I guess that's how it is. Well, guess what?
They're in the exact same spot.
Nobody else was going to do this, and they would have been royally effed from a PR standpoint had they not. I would have traded him. I would have traded the entire team, other than PJ.
Once you did, Luka, obviously.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would have
start over.
Now maybe this is a sign and trade. I would have done that. That there are teams that absolutely will give you real haul type assets for 3 years of Kyrie at this age, for sure. They may be like 20, 30 picks, but dude, right now, if the Mavericks wanted to, they could take Anthony Davis, they could take Kyrie Irving on this new deal, they could take Daniel Gafford because he can still be traded on his new deal at 3 for $54. They could go get, I'm not going to say a Thunder type war chest, but those 3 players would net you over 10 first round picks. I promise you that. You start throwing some other shit in there with it. Jaden Hardy's on his way out, whatever. PJ Washington is here. Derek Lively is here. Cooper Flagg is here. And they can, if they want, run the draft for the next several years. But they won't. Because,
Because
everything they do now is like a saving face thing,
Right, and it has to be for win now because you were in the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
You were a win now team. So to make a move from there, you can't, unless it was announced, hey, this is all financial and we're stripping this whole thing down.
Right.
Which it was not. It was not about that. And I'm listening to Nico, and I'm just pissed. Anyway, let's go to the press conference. You know what? I'm just going to start it at the start so we can...
Thank you all for coming tonight.
All right, thank you all for being here. We're just going to have our general manager, Nico Harrison, just do a quick remark. All right, thank you all for being here. We're just going to have our general manager, Nico Harrison, just do a quick remarks, and then we'll open it up for questions.
Thanks, everybody, for waiting. I know it's been a long night. Gosh, what an exciting...
And is this the first we've heard of him since... Like, this guy is in such deep hiding because...
Well, since the lottery, they've just been they run Rick Welts out there. And
Jason Kidd's done a lot.
Their whole thing is a PR nightmare.
Matt Riccardi. Yeah, but they've been hiding Nico for sure.
Exciting night for the Dallas Mavericks franchise, for the fans, for the city of Dallas.
Just his voice pisses me off.
I'm just super excited.
It's worse when you see his face.
To get Cooper, it's generational talent.
I hate hearing that.
You shouldn't be allowed to use the word.
No.
Top to bottom, we're excited. So with that, I'll open up the questions.
I hate
and he opens up for questions right away.
I'll open it up for questions.
That wasn't even like a 20-second opening. That was it. Like, he's good. He's a generational talent. Like, okay. Gosh. And generational talent, that all remains to be seen. Many people say he is. What if you had one that was already proven? Like, only LeBron and Oscar Robertson were delivering better seasons in his first 5 years in the league. What if you had that? Can you imagine? Anyway, I'm pissed. I'll get some questions.
I'll start. Go ahead, Brad. I guess it's a compliment to him because there's been so much speculation. But
what position do you see him primarily playing?
It's funny. Jay Kidd and I have this joke.
Pause it. Last night, I paused my TV last night when I heard that. Like, there's no way. There's no way he's doing this again. Not after Cleveland. He's got a little chuckle face.
It's funny. Jay Kidd and I have this joke. When the season's over with, he passes me the ball, and then when the season starts, I pass him the ball back. And so that would be a Jay Kidd.
Then how the fuck did Luka get traded? It was during the season. How did you end up with the ball? If it's supposed to be his team at that point, you just traded a guy mid-season, right? Like the main guy? It doesn't really hold here.
You got to settle down. I'm still laughing over the Jay Kidd Nico joke. Man, it must be a riot sitting with them at dinner.
Dude, you know the other thing?
These players they brought in for dinner.
Yeah, did you think that was funny? Oh, yes, I thought it was very funny. Nico, you're a funny guy. The thing I was thinking last night when I was watching this, just getting blood boiling all over again, because the guy really makes me want to hit him. My thought is just, like, I'm not, like, the most Riz guy in the world. Don't have aura for days. How did this guy swindle these fucking billionaires? This guy is a total chud. This dork.
I was thinking about that too.
This guy has no charisma, no aura at all.
I was thinking about that too, walking around. Like, how many times have you had a boss that just sucks, yet his boss, who's a bit removed from everything else, has no idea, and in fact, kind of thinks he's the reason everything's great around here. I know you've had that.
And crazy because I just assumed
that's what this guy somehow has. He's like, no, we were in the championship last year. Nico.
I'm trying to think of
Nico.
There's been executives before that I got hoodwinked by because they talked a bunch of analytic shit and they were like, Sloan business or sports conference-y, and I've been fooled. But that... How is that guy getting the ear of a guy who, my understanding, like owns the Chinese mafia through gambling, and he convinces him with that? Patrick, are you busy this afternoon? I had an idea for a trade.
But really, he's a basketball player. He can handle the ball. He can shoot. He can make plays for people. He's a good passer. He's going to be on the floor. And the big thing is, who can he defend? And he's a great.
See, he subtweets Luka the whole this whole press conference. He's subtweeting Luka.
He's going to be on the floor. And the big thing is, who can he defend? And he's a great defender. So I think, positionally, I think you're going to see us play a different style of basketball with him and PJ on the wings.
It is interesting. You're looking at the roster construction, and it is kind of zagging if the rest of the NBA is zigging, right?
Definitely, yeah. The last two things I wrote were, the last one was you got to play Flagg. You got to plant your flag at guard, especially with Kyrie out. But then the other one was, they also just re-signed Gafford, which doesn't really make sense, but in their bizarro world, it kind of does. They're just a weird team because Anthony Davis sometimes is going to have to be the only big out there, like a lone five. All right, well, now there's Gafford.
And he's been very against that vocally.
He's very against it, but sometimes they need it. All right, well, now Lively, who's a ascending all-star, he's on the bench. Gafford's making $20 million. He's on the bench. You don't have any guards. Like, their roster's just it's huge, but the idea of them playing two bigs, Washington, Flagg, and Kyrie, that will be fun. I will promise you that.
And it makes
if Kyrie's even back this year.
Go
ahead.
Post All-Star game. It makes you mad because in his mind, trading Luka got them Cooper Flagg.
Yeah, that he's going to get to that too, I think, or at least do you have the?
We're gonna get there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've listened to this whole thing.
He believes that. I've said that since the night of the lottery.
Hold on. Let's hold on. Yeah.
And then during his visit here, what was the most memorable part about getting to know him in person?
Honestly, I think it's really the way people talk about him.
See, and then he doesn't even answer this question either. It's just going to be about how his coach loved him,
how he
and
talks about himself, but
other
his
people
coach
liked
will tell
him,
you,
and it's
when I
nothing to
can
do with
coach my
getting
best
to
player,
know him at
tough,
all. Relationship guy.
It makes it easier to coach everyone.
This is where I need Shoddy.
His teammates will say, "Best team I've ever had."
I'm right here,
most
man.
competitive person, the GM of the team. It's like he's not entitled, so it's just like all the intangibles.
See, again, this is
That felt like a
subtweeting Luka
subtweet for sure.
All
Entitled.
of this.
Most competitive person, the GM of the team. It's like he's not entitled, so it's just like all the intangibles that he has is what really gets me excited.
Abby Jones, DLL Sports.
Yeah. Luka's entitled. This entitled little F who won't listen to me, the great Nico Harrison, who thinks that he should wait a little longer to make sure that injury is really healed so they can be ready for their playoff run. What an asshole. I got to get rid of this guy. He wouldn't listen to me. Basketball's Nico Harrison. Look it up in the encyclopedia. You'll see a picture of me next to basketball. Like, Jesus Christ.
You know what's weird about him using the word entitled is I don't have a problem with Anthony Davis. I think, in general, NBA players are the talent. Most of the time, their bosses are morons. But if you were going to use the word entitled, like, Anthony Davis's career would be it. Where, he just forced his way out of New Orleans and did bits while he was doing it. And then, he played center in L.A. for a few years, but was complaining about it the whole time, was complaining about it when he got traded, has made it known now, like, no, I'm a 4. That's pretty entitled to me.
Abby Jones, DLL Sports. LeBron James was kind of saying how rare it is that, a rookie gets to start his career with established Hall of Fame players. How do you think this is going to accelerate his development in the NBA?
I think it's actually awesome that somebody gets to, develop on their own time, whatever that is. And we have the support that we can allow him to develop on his own time. We'll be able to win when he's having good games and also win when he's not having his best.
It's a bold statement. I don't know if it's going to work out that way, especially with the roster right now. If you want to say, yeah, but we're waiting for Kyrie. Again, when Kyrie returns, the Kyrie style of play, Will it be exactly the same? I mean, I don't know. He is getting older.
No, probably not. But I
don't know if they're going to be good because also they're now counting on Jason Kidd to be the one to mix this magic potion and make them a good team.
I think whatever their over-under is right now, I will be taking the over.
All right, find that out, Blake, because I'll take the under right now. We're doing a bet right now for supremacy of the show.
Kind of building off what Abby said, it's a unique situation because number one picks don't typically join a team that's in a win-now window. How do you see things going in terms of him being a focal point versus, the vets, kind of being their team?
Yeah, I think when you really have a good culture, I don't think it matters like who.
This is I feel like this is more shots at Luka. Like somehow it's about culture, and he's going to try and tell us how their culture is so great.
I don't think this is a shot at Luka, by the way, but I do think it is a shot at Tim McMahon or anybody who has said like, "Hey, it ain't good over there."
Okay.
Who's the focal point? Who's the guy? I think if you're just playing and everybody's focused on winning, then it just kind of like the ball's going to find people and you're going to play. When he came here, 6 guys took him out to dinner the second night. So I just think, it's kind of unique for a team that didn't make the playoffs, and 6 of their players are taking the potential draft pick out to dinner. So I think our culture is a lot stronger than people realize.
Is that unique? I don't know.
I don't know.
He's
just such a dweeb.
I don't think it is
to him,
unique.
He's like, did you know there were 6 people at that? Like, okay, dude. It was 3, 10. I don't care.
Like, was everybody pissed when Zion was making his visit to New Orleans, and did they not treat him well? When there's like a consensus number 1 pick type thing?
He's reaching.
So I don't worry about the focal point thing. I think it's just really we're just gonna play basketball, and as he develops, as he progresses, I think his team
his cadence.
One of the things that he did a workout while he was here.
Everything about Nico Harrison.
Little rat.
PJ was there, and I said, "Hey, PJ, you think you guys can play together?" He's like, "Oh yeah, we can play together." So.
Well, I guess everything's fine then.
Yeah, we had some fun. We had some fun in the group chat last night. I'm like, okay, well, like, what's he gonna say?
Right.
Like, well, we play the same position. He's probably and also I get the sense, I don't know this. I'm fanficking here a little bit, but I get the sense that Nico goes up and they're shooting or practicing. He's like, do you think you could play with this guy? Isn't he great? PJ's like, yeah, Nico, he's the number 1 pick. I can play. I don't know. I just feel like they're tired of him too.
Maybe just because it was in New York, but Cooper got asked if he had assurances that Jason Kidd was going to be the coach next season. You obviously brought up J. Kidd just a second ago. But since it keeps being asked, since the rumors are still out there, just wanted to see if you can conclusively say that J. Kidd is going to be the head coach next season.
Are there rumors still out there about J. Kidd?
It's funny.
I thought I shut him down.
I shut him down.
He will be the coach next year.
I thought I shut it down. You know why people didn't know? Because the Mavs didn't say a goddamn thing for 3 weeks.
You had to hide.
You were in hiding. No one said anything. There should have been an immediate statement that Jason Kidd is our coach. He's under contract, and of course he's going to be the coach, but there wasn't.
No.
And that's why this became a story. It's J. Kidd. That's so funny. God, I hate them both. But I especially hate Nico. Just get rid of Nico, and I'll sign Kidd up to a lifetime contract.
Did you see the story that Sean Sweeney didn't want to leave Kidd's staff? I mean, he's been with Kidd for a long time. And the Mavs didn't match money in years, I guess, because he's still an assistant now in San Antonio. The reports where he wanted to stay, that everybody's bummed he's leaving. But I don't think he's alone.
Okay.
I think Nico has attempted to, and maybe successfully for the moment, leapt-frogged Kidd.
As far as what?
Power.
Oh, I think there's no doubt about that. The interesting thing is that he still remains there because he leapt-frogged him to make that Luka trade. Because certainly we don't, like...
I don't know.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't believe a thing these guys say, the whole organization.
Hey, their lips are moving. They're lying. Grandpa.
Nico over here. You had mentioned in past press conferences about trades that you've made or deals that you had done to kind of win now. But getting a player like Cooper, I would imagine, changes it. So how does it change your kind of operation moving forward in terms of how you see this team, not only in the next year or two, but how you're going to build it?
This is where we're going to get to the statement of the night.
Things. I think it's win now. It's also win in the future. And we don't know when eventually it's going to be Cooper's team. We don't know when that transition will happen. So I think it's win now and then set yourself up to win in the future as well.
It's coming.
Nico right here. My name is Joey Machado with Clutch Points. My question is, heading into the NBA draft lottery, 1.8% chance you guys win the lottery. What is your initial reaction, and just how surprised were you when you found out you guys won the lottery?
Yeah, I was extremely surprised. All my draft prep up to that point was, us being in the 11th position. So,
number one, I'd like to see that. Let's see your notes. Let's see all the prep you did for the 11th pick in the draft.
All my draft prep up to that point was, us being in the 11th position. So, that's just. But, things happen. Fortune favors the bold. So exciting things fell our way.
That is not how that works.
Yes, you're right. You said it immediately too when the trade happened. Yes, he's saying, or maybe when the Cooper Flagg thing happened, when you knew they'd get the number one pick. He is putting in his mind, I am bold. I made this move, and I'm rewarded for it. And you could make an argument. I wouldn't do it. But you could make an argument that Luka for Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg is a fair deal. It's a more fair deal.
Sure.
For sure, because, and this is the big problem with Anthony Davis, is the future. You got a guy that's 10 years older than one of the other guys. And heavily injury prone even when he wasn't this age. So that's the whole argument. That's why it's such a horseshit trade from the beginning, is that, you're anyway.
Yeah.
But yes. So I still wouldn't do that deal. I would not do Anthony Davis for Cooper Flagg because Cooper Flagg is still a question mark. I'm not positive. I'm positive about this guy and what he means to the city already, what he means to us, what we've already been through. Again, it's like when my wife first learned about it, and she never watches any sports, but she said, he brings so much joy to us. He brings joy to the city. He brings joy to those around him. Yes, just viewing him gives you a warm feeling.
Sure.
And he's not this, and Anthony Davis just sucked. Anthony Davis is the impractical jokers. Luka Doncic is, I can't say dude
boys
perfect.
Or Stranger Things.
Children's Hospital.
Let's try to get something that we all love. Is there anything? Is a big jugged...
is Sydney Sweeney?
Yeah.
No, but the brass tacks is they didn't trade Luka for Anthony Davis and Cooper Flagg. They traded him for Anthony Davis because that's who he wanted. And yeah, I think now he's the type of megalomaniac or just asshole.
Like the universe rewarded me.
Exactly. Who has, you see everything through, like you're the main character all the time. So I'm not surprised that he thinks that at all. I don't think it's all religious people. I don't think it's just a religious thing. I think this happens to, I think not religious people do this as well. But I do know that he thinks from I'm rewarded by God for my struggles. But to my recollection, Job didn't murder his kids.
Job didn't really ask for it.
Job was
Nico
like, why does this keep happening to me? Where it's like he views himself in that way, but I don't know. Maybe I got to reread that book.
Just a couple more. I'm not going to play the entire press conference again.
Thank you.
I played the first 5 minutes there just to show you how mad I got throughout the whole thing. But a couple more things.
It actually wasn't that long.
No, it's only
12,
15
13 minutes.
Yeah. But again, this is the one that's going to come out of it that
Fortune favors the bold.
unbelievable. What was this that I marked?
Nico, piggybacking off that, are you hopeful, optimistic that by drafting Cooper, some of the anger that had been directed at you personally will subside now?
I'm hoping so. I'm assuming so a little bit, maybe.
No,
That's it?
no, that's not. No, why would it? That's
Right.
the thing. Okay, so like if you're the
Right, because of the great move I made.
Yeah.
Look at this cool pick. I
Right.
scouted this guy. I found Cooper
Yeah.
Flagg. Who else knew
dude,
about this
okay,
guy?
so like if you're the mafia or the cartel or the Taliban or whatever, and you're gonna fuck people's lives up, what you do is you like give them food and you like have them running water or their lights on or something. You have to do something to try to be that like poor of stewards of them. He's acting like he's giving us Cooper Flagg because he took Luka away.
Yeah.
The question is about, do you think people will chill out now because you are drafting Cooper Flagg? Well, they're
Why
only
would
mad.
they? Why would I now be
if
like,
why
you know
they're
what?
mad is
Now
because of trading Luka. This doesn't address that at all. It's really weird to me that he's like looking down, like, be grateful of what I've done for you. As an aside on the be grateful thing, my gummy thought watching the lottery last night was just, unless you believe it's rigged, unless you believe that there's some sort of sleight of hand going on with the accounting firm in the NBA, I know we all get it. Where you get drafted matters a lot. There's a ton of guys, quarterbacks, who would have had great careers if they'd been drafted to other teams. I'm sure of it. Do you know,
Johnny,
how lucky Cooper Flagg is to end up here instead of Washington or Charlotte from just how happy am I for the next 20 years of my life? I know he's going to have all the money, but that's already like, you know that. So what else? Well, if you play for Washington, probably everything sucks all the time. Probably Charlotte's not that far off. A 1.8% chance that he ended up here, which is you got to give to them an extremely unique situation for a first overall pick to be going into.
And this last cut,
he got very lucky,
is definitely subtweeting Luka.
Nico, you talked in the past about having players who fit to the culture and having players who add to the culture. Can you talk about a way?
It sounds like young, fake Peter King.
Okay.
Are you with me on that? Let's see.
Nico, you talked in the past about
Yes.
having players who fit to the culture and having players who add to the culture. Can you talk about a way or two you feel that Cooper adds to the culture and helps move it forward?
I think the biggest thing is he's a two-way player.
Yeah,
That's my thing.
When you watch him play, he plays hard.
That's not
And when
culture.
you have a guy that does that, that makes basketball plays, again, when you talk about
Like, if that's okay, because he's a good player, that adds to the culture. Okay, well, again, that is
and both ways.
But he's subtweeting Luka throughout this thing, and yes, when he says quick answer is he's a two-way player. That was the thing you said when he was going out the door.
Yeah.
Is that Anthony Davis is a two-way player. He plays defense.
And
I know that's what wins championships because look behind me at all the trophies I have.
Yeah, and Kyrie Irving doesn't really play a lot of defense, and Klay Thompson.
Oh my
used to.
gosh!
I don't. So we pick.
Where's
and
Klay
choose.
fit on this team?
That one is very strange. It doesn't. You know why? Because he was acquired to play on a roster led by Luka.
He's probably thinking, man, if I had taken the Lakers offer, I would now be next to Luka.
And not even on the same half of the court as Luka. Like, if Luka's over here, you go stand in the opposite corner.
Yeah, we're kind
You
of
stand
trying
on
to
the
get
opposite
you,
wing.
trying to get you out of the way as much as we can here, Clay. He started every game he was available in, too. I forgot that.
Mm-hmm.
I, for some reason, I thought maybe there was a little bench time now.